Welcome from the University of North Alabama Student Financial Aid Office. Today we're going to look at how to file the 23-24 FAFSA. So let's get started. The first thing you'll need to do is to create a Federal Student Aid ID, also known as an FSA ID, for the student and the parent. To do that, you'll need to go to studentaid.gov's website and click on Create Account, and then you'll need to click on Get Started. So to create the IDs, you'll have to have the Social Security numbers for each person, the date of birth, active email accounts for the student and the parent, and students do not use your high school email account because it will be deactivated after you graduate. And you must verify the email and the cell phone numbers for each person in order to log in and sign the FAFSA. So if you already have an FSA ID and you have forgotten your username or your password, you can click on each of those tabs there to get that information or to reset the password. If you still need assistance, you can call 1-800-433-3243. Next, it's time to gather the financial information for the 23 FAFSA. If you filed taxes as a student in 21, then you will need the taxes for that year. If you have parents that are married, you will need the 21 taxes and the 21 W-2s for each of those parents. If your parents are divorced, but they have remarried, then you'll need the 21 taxes and the 21 W-2 for the parent and the spouse. If your parent has a live-in partner, you'll need the 21 taxes and W-2 for that parent and partner in the household. Now it's time to complete the FAFSA. To do so, you'll go back to studentaid.gov, click on the tab that says FAFSA form, then complete the FAFSA form, and then you should see where to log in. Now you're going to click on I am a student and want to access the FAFSA form first, and then you can actually log into the application. So you'll use your FSA ID username or email or the mobile phone that was verified and enter the password, then log in. The next page, you'll just accept the terms and conditions, and you should see your name at the top of the page. If you see anything else, that's not the right login, so make sure you've logged in with your own FSA ID. And for college freshmen starting in August of 23, you'll select the 23-24 FAFSA form, and then you'll need to create a save key that can be used in case you have to save the application to come back at a later date to complete it, and then you'll click Continue. On the next page, you'll just select Continue, and you should see your personal information on the demographic page. All this information should be imported from the FSA ID website, but if anything is missing, be sure that it is added on there and that every line is correct. And if it is, then continue. The next page should also have imported your verified FSA ID email address and FSA ID cell phone number. And if it's not correct or if it's not on that page, you'll need to make sure that that is on there correct and then select Continue. Your student address, your home address, which is also your permanent address, should also be on there, imported from the FSA ID website. But if not, make sure you make that match and input all that information onto the website. Then continue. The next, you'll have to answer the question about living in your home state for at least 5 years, and if you are a U.S. citizen, and then continue. And the next page will ask about your education. For most of you, the high school completion status will be high school diploma. Most of you will be working on your first bachelor's degree, and the answer will be no to having your first bachelor's degree before the 23-24 school year. Most of you will select never attended college for your college grade level, and we do advise that you answer yes to being considered for work study. So if you are selected, you can pursue that opportunity if you choose to do so. Then select Continue. The next page will ask you to put in your driver's license number and your state, your home state for that license, and then the next page will ask you about foster care system, if you were a foster youth, and the highest completion of the school for each parent, and then you'll select Continue. And now it's time to add your high school information by selecting the state, city, and inputting the name of your high school and searching for that. Then when you find your high school, you'll select it and continue, and then you will confirm your high school just by selecting Continue on the next page. Now it's time to select for your college, search for your college, and to search for UNA, you can enter the federal school code of 001016, and when you do that and you select Search, it should bring up University of North Alabama, and you can click on that box and then click Continue, and then you can select your housing plans and select Continue. And then it will ask you about the student's marital status as of today. And for most of you that will be single, select Continue. And most of you will not have any dependent children or other dependents, so those answers will be no. And then you will select Continue. On this page, it will ask you questions about serving active duty in the U.S. Armed Forces, or if you are a veteran, or if your parents are deceased, or if you're in foster care or a ward of the court. It will ask you if you've ever been an emancipated minor, or if someone else has legal guardianship. And most of you will select the answer, none of the above, and then continue. The next question will be about homelessness. And for most of you, that answer will also be no, and then you will continue. On the next screen, it will let you know if you are a dependent student. And for most of you, that will be the case, and you will select, I will provide information about my parents. However, if you have a special circumstance, then you can select the other option, but most of you must select the option, I will provide information about my parents, and continue. On this page, it just gives you information about which parent you should put on the FAFSA, so you will not input any information there, you will just continue. So if your biological parents are divorced, but the parent you put on the FAFSA has remarried, you must include the parent and their spouse's 2021 tax information on the FAFSA, even if they were not married in 2021. If your parent has a partner that resides in the household, both the parent and partner's 21 taxes must be included on the FAFSA. So as of the day that you file the FAFSA, you must answer the question as, what is the marital status of your parents on that day? And then you will enter the month and the year that they were married or remarried, or if they were divorced, and then continue. And now you will enter the information for your first parent, and it's advised that you use the parent that has the FSA ID. So you will make sure that their social security number is put on there correctly, their last name, first initial, date of birth, and that the email address is the one that was used for the FSA ID. Everything on this page must match the social security card information and the FSA ID website. Then you'll select continue, and if you have another parent on the FAFSA, you'll enter their social security number, last name, first initial, date of birth, and then continue. Then you will answer the question about their home state, living in it for at least 5 years, and then continue. And then you will answer the question about other dependent children that your parents have in their home between July 1st of 23 and June 30th, 24, and if there are any other dependents in the household, and then continue. And then it will determine your household size based on that information. The next thing that you will need to answer is the number of people in college, and that would be you and any siblings. Do not include your parents, but do include yourself and other members of the household, and then continue. On the next page, you will answer the questions about the parent's tax filing status. Do be aware that your parents must have filed 21 taxes if they were required to do so. So for most of you, you will answer already completed, and their IRS form is typically IRS Form 1040. Then you will check the tax forms to make sure that you select the appropriate tax filing status for that parent. And if you are given the option to proceed to the IRS, we recommend that you do so that by doing that, the IRS can import the tax information. So on the next page, you will enter the parent's FSA ID by selecting the parent that has that information. So you will put in their username and their password, and then continue. And then you will select OK to go to the IRS website. And when you get to the IRS website, your parent's name, social security number, date of birth, and filing status should already be showing up. But you must manually input the address information for the street, if there's a P.O. box, apartment number, city, state, zip code. All of that must be identical to the information on the 2021 tax returns. Then you will select Submit. If you do it properly, it will give you the option to transfer your information onto the FAFSA, and you do that by selecting the box. Click on the box, and then you actually have to click on Transfer Now. And when you do that, give it just a moment, and then the FAFSA will update, and you should see Transferred from the IRS for the next question about the adjusted gross income, and then continue. The next question, though, you will have to manually input their wages for each parent. So you will use a 21 W-2 to get that information, and then you will select Continue. The next page, though, should already be completed from the IRS. And if it asks you if you want to skip any questions about your and your parents' income and assets, you must answer no and select Continue. And you should see the income tax information transferred from the IRS for your parent. And this page will also be transferred over from the IRS for these questions about combat pay and other types of income. So you will select Continue. And the same is true on this page. It will be transferred from the IRS for child support earnings or taxable earnings. You select Continue. And it will also be transferred from the IRS here for child support received or other items related to their income. You'll select Continue. The parent's assets will have to manually be put in, so you will answer each of these questions and then select Continue. Now it's going to ask about the student tax filing status. If you did not file 2021 taxes, you will select not going to file. But if you did, you will answer already completed and the IRS Form 1040. And for most of you, your tax filing status will be single. And then if you're given the option to proceed to the IRS, click on that and click on OK. And then you should see your first and last name, social security number, date of birth, and filing status. And then you will have to, again, manually put in the address information exactly as it was on the 2021 taxes and submit it. If you're given the option to transfer, select the box to transfer your tax information to the FAFSA and then transfer now. And when you do that, you should see transferred from the IRS on your FAFSA when you go back to the application. And then you will select continue. And again, this information will be on there for you. And if you did not work or earn wages, the answer you would put on that box where it says, has that question for 21, you would enter 0 and then continue. And this also will be transferred from the IRS for you, as well the amount of your income tax. So you will select continue. This page should also be all zeros or transferred from the IRS for you, and select continue. And these should also, child support you paid or earnings or taxable earnings should also be 0 or imported from the IRS, and child support received in these questions should also be 0 or imported over from the IRS. Now, if it asks you if you want to skip questions about your assets, you must say no, because you are required to answer those. So you would answer each of these questions, and for most of you, the answers are going to be 0 because these accounts do, the savings and cash and checking, they do fluctuate. And so for most of you, those answers, all 3 will be 0. Then you'll select continue. Now you'll see your FAFSA summary, and after you've reviewed that, made sure everything's correct, you'll go down to the bottom and select continue. And then you will need to answer a brief survey, and then you can select continue. And now it's time to sign the application just by checking on the box beside your name, and then sign and submit the FAFSA form. And you should see that you have now signed the FAFSA with your FSA ID right here. And then it's time to provide the parent signature. And then you select the parent with the FSA ID. And when you do so, that parent then will also click in the box and then select continue. And then if they have to enter their FSA ID again, they will need to do so. Sign the FAFSA form. And then now it's time to submit your FAFSA form. And then you should see the page that says congratulations. So if you have any questions about how to complete the FAFSA, give us a call at 1-800-TALK-UNA or 256-765-4278, or send us an email at sfins@una.edu and we can set up an appointment to assist you.